What is up, everyone? Welcome to FSP episode number 79. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you are having a fantastic Monday. Today's a little bit of a different kind of news day. We had some interesting news in the Xbox world, but also still going to talk some ABK and maybe some games in 2024 as well, because it's shaping up to be, if 2023 was awesome, 2024 is looking to be pretty damn special as well. So got a lot to cover. Spider-Man 2 also has started getting the reviews out there, so maybe talk a little bit about that as well. Looking like people are getting pretty damn excited for that one. So, man, Monday after ABK. We live in a different world now. We absolutely do. But thanks again, chat, for being here. Let's get to the awesome panel. Psycho, how are you doing, bro? You just hopped in right as we're about to go live.
Yes, sir. Of course, Discord has, the 20,000 updates that my slow-ass computer has to, drum through. But I'm glad to be here. It's an amazing time to be a gamer. And, yeah, there's some great news. I've been playing, I've been playing Age of Empires 4 today.
Oh, sweet, man. Having fun with that. I'm playing on console, right?
Yes.
And you didn't really get to play that when it hit PC, right? Because of your PC?
Yeah, that is correct. My PC is couldn't handle it, so I never got to play it. But I was like, today I don't feel like playing Starfield. Let me play something else. And I was like, you know what? I saw all the updates with Age of Empires 4, so I was like, let me try to get some of these avatars and banners, signal. Sigils and things like that. So I was like, let me do this. So
right on.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
I was actually thinking about playing that, I was super excited for it to hit console, but there's been so many damn games, that I just haven't spent any time really with it. I played it enough to check it out to see how the controls implemented, and I was already super impressed. But I've been mainly into Forza, so
yeah. My only gripe is the in Age of Empires 2, you had the ability to send your scout just to go scouting, and that's it. And you just set it, forget it. And 4, it doesn't do that.
Right.
Unless I missed the section when I was doing the.
It may. I don't remember, but I know they've all kind of differed. Like some of the games let you auto scout, some of them don't. It just
yeah.
I don't remember if 4 has it or not.
I don't remember it. I've just been because I played it when it first came out for a little bit, and that was about it. And I don't remember if the tutorial had the auto scout. But outside of that, I've just been, letting my villagers grow and let them do their gathering and whatnot while I scout around real quick. Then they go, attend the villagers, and so. It's I've been liking it because they had a new map for the Halloween event.
Oh, nice.
So it's good. And I think November 4th the event ends. I think.
There's so many fucking game events going on right now.
I know, and like all your villagers look like zombies.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. And like everything is all like. Almost like Sleepy Hollow themed type.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the trees are like twisted, and yeah, it's really neat to see that.
I need to get into it, bro. But thanks for being here as always, dude. Amazing.
So much to play.
Well, how you doing, Jasper, today?
Doing pretty good. I've been playing Call of Duty, trying to grind out the battle pass to unlock spawn and stuff, and getting ready because their new event starts tomorrow, their Halloween event. So trying to grind out and get back used to Call of Duty for that. I just got reported for cheating, which is also fun.
Why? Because you killed them too much, I guess. Yeah. That's interesting.
It's Call of Duty. Whatever. You get called a hacker every now and then.
Yeah. Are you playing on PC?
No, I was playing on Xbox.
It's so funny. I know when Halo came out, anytime anybody saw a PC player, like, oh, they're hacking or they're cheating, you know what I mean? And then that's gonna always happen with COD too. But like, it's just funny that because you're in a little bit of another level than I am in those games, and it can seem like you're cheating because how much you annihilate people at times, but no, that's just Jasper getting the headshots and annihilating the
He
pack.
stuck it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halo event starts tomorrow, I think also, and Diablo
Yeah.
event starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a busy
Dude,
fucking day.
How are we supposed to keep up with this shit? I don't understand. Like, every single thing. It's like I had no idea about the Halloween thing going on in Age. Now I really want to play that. You got Halo Infinite Season 5 dropping. Diablo
Yep.
Season 2, which is looking amazing as well.
Yep.
Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm still addicted to Forza Motorsport, and I've been neglecting Starfield. I don't know what to do with myself. And it's not going to stop because 2024 is going to be just as bad. There's no stop to this. I don't have enough time in the day. I mean, holy
You gotta clone
shit.
yourself. You gotta clone yourself, play all the games,
Well,
and then somehow connect with all of the clones, and so you can grasp all the knowledge.
Like have like a mind.
You got to
leak
just
thing.
pick and choose. You just got to pick and choose what game you want to.
There is no picking.
Play one for an hour and then move on to the next, and then one an hour.
Halos,
But these games
Halos
are so
you can
good that
probably
you
do
can't
in like
do
3
that.
hours.
All these games
They
are
can-
like Lay's potato chips, man. It's like you can't just like you start like, oh, I'm gonna dive in and hop around, which I usually do. I'm a grazer usually, right? But not with these games. You know, spent a couple months on addicted to Diablo, even though y'all abandoned my ass. And then Starfield, couldn't play anything else. Now Forza, I feel like I'm just all I want to do is race, man. I actually tried to play GT7 last night because I was like, you know what? It's been a while. I had played it a little bit leading up to the launch of Forza Motorsport. Now that I've played Forza, I want to go and get a good feel for GT7. And then I got to be honest, at first I was like GT7. I was looking around playing all the menus and the presentation and the way, like, you know, everything outside of racing is absolutely amazing. And I'm like, oh man, I wish Forza did this or wish Forza did that, because it'd be really cool, you know, if they kind of implemented some of these things and kind of upped the presentation. And then I was like, but, you know, and see how it looks when I'm racing too, because all these people putting out these graphics comparisons. I hopped into a race and I'm like, and it happened to be a nighttime race on the highway and stuff. And, you know, I was in a hatchback and I just been doing hatchback racing on Forza. It's like, man, this game utterly feels and looks like shit now. Like when you're on track and actually doing the stuff that matters with in racing, like Gran Turismo feels like a PS2 game.
There was
PS3 game to
a
me.
professional driver that made like a YouTube video today about like he races like a Subaru or something, and he was saying like Forza feels like you're racing a fucking Supra, whereas GT7 is like
the
flat and boring.
The cars don't feel like
Yeah.
the biggest thing is like Forza Motorsport. The cars feel like cars.
Yeah,
Like the cars don't feel like cars in Gran Turismo. Like the presentation and everything outside of it. Like you're looking at the car. And we were DMing last night, and I was like, or at least I was DMing, putting my random thoughts to you guys. But I was like, really, I feel like Gran Turismo 7 is like a love letter to cars outside of the track, right? And Forza Motorsport is a love letter to cars on the track, right?
Yeah.
And if I was to judge the games based on not actually playing the racing, I would say GT7 has some advantages there that I would like to see, like Forza maybe eventually do some things with, like. But then when you're actually doing the racing and even the graphics, you know, I was like, how are people honestly like trying to make a comparison to this now? Because I was like, this outside of the race, sure, right? When you're actually playing, it was like, no, there's no comparison. Forza Motorsport has ruined Gran Turismo 7 for me. Absolutely has. Anyway, Fuzzy, how are you doing, bro?
Well, I'm doing great, and like a lot of what you were saying, like I've always kind of felt that way with Forza. It's the on track feel is they're king at it, and they've definitely stepped it up with this current iteration compared to like Motorsport 7. So the feel, yeah, they got that nailed down. Just a few more things they need to tweak. Like I would like to see driver suits and helmets paintable, but it's not the end of the world. I would like to see some of the custom race stuff that the GT7 has implemented into Forza, but other than that, I'm pretty damn happy with it. But GT7 is one of those where it's like my main reason to play as far as the replayability is just the custom race stuff where you can set the field and the paint schemes by using cars in your garage. But other than that, doing pretty good. Boys had an 18th birthday over the weekend. Upgraded our phones. They upgraded their computers because that's what they wanted. They already
Nice.
got the car stuff situated. So, yeah, they just wanted phones and their computers taken care of, and we did all that. And now they're pretty damn happy with that stuff. But man, the news just keeps on coming in with Xbox and great stuff. Looking forward for the next year and the year after and the next probably 20 years worth of stuff. But man, a lot to get into. Finally, a first-party PlayStation game releases. You know,
Yeah.
something for them to talk about. Hopefully, other than Xbox. But yeah, we got a lot to get into. So let's do this.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 reviews came out today, and I don't know if it's still sitting there, but I know earlier today it was around a 91, which is not really a surprise there whatsoever. I think some of the reviews are interesting. The fast travel that people keep making clips of and stuff looks pretty cool. Also, again, it looks like more Spider-Man, which is what some of those reviews said as well. But at the end of the day, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's what a lot of people are looking forward to. I'm gonna be playing it at some point. I don't know if I'm getting right away, but I am excited to play the game. I wasn't really into Miles Morales.
I am
because-
surprised it got a 91. Like I thought that maybe like since we've already had 2 Spider-Man games like relatively shortly, like maybe it would bring it down a bit to like mid 80s or
Yeah,
lower 80s.
I think
but
because this one is like only on PS5, it's pushing it enough forward, like with some fidelity and with the way they're doing the fast travel and stuff like that, that it's kind of making it feel fresher. Miles Morales just felt like an expansion to me, and I kind of lost interest in it, to be honest with you. It didn't really do anything different or whatever. And Spider-Man 2, I'm hoping kind of captures the magic for me that I had with Spider-Man 1, because I know you hated it, Jasper, but
yeah.
I actually liked
I
the
mean, it
game
was
a lot. I mean, I didn't play like, it was one of those games where I had like played and kind of went away from, and then eventually I started it again, and then it hooked me, right? And then I played through the whole thing. I didn't do all the extra stuff and all the side quests, but I did like the main story in the first Spider-Man. But like I said, Miles Morales just kind of felt too samey, too like smaller experience in a way that just was like kind of boring for me. So I'm hoping Spider-Man 2 kind of, reignites that a little bit. So we'll see. I don't know. I really don't want to pay $70 for it, but knowing them, it's not going to be discounted for a really long time. And being that GT7 still not in PlayStation Plus, and when is that game ever going to hit that service also? So who knows?
It won't. Just wait for the holidays. There's certain stores that will discount it, and there's always, like, if you don't mind getting it physical or a physical copy, you'll be able to get a deal before the holidays or by the holidays over at GameStop. So there's always that.
Yeah, the fake
Well,
Dreamcast guy in the chat wanted me said I did a good impression. I did kind of mock him the other day a little bit, but yeah, so I don't know who that is with the fake account, but I saw you over on XNC chat too. So shout out to XNC and Colt and who had Gaz on tonight. Some fun times over there. Spider-Man, man. Is anybody here getting it day one? Are you getting it right away, Fuzz?
No, I'm like right now. There's just so much I have already to play through. I figured I'd wait until like after or by like Black Friday. Like I said, if some of these stores have a sale where it's like $60 or somewhere in that ballpark or less, then I'll pick it up. But right now, I'm not picking it up at 70 just for it to collect dust until I get tired of Forza, which isn't going to happen for a bit.
If there wasn't so much to play, I probably would have been day one, and a little bit more excited. Def Leopard says, wait for Spider-Man 2 remastered next year. That's the
PC version of it. They got to remaster.
Yeah.
When the PC version releases, are they going to do a free update or for PS5 owners, or like what
A
are they
free
gonna do?
update. It's going to be a definitive
that
edition. You got
$10
to
Yeah, extra content, definitive edition. Probably, you guys are probably right.
Remaster for the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, props to them for Insomniac. Obviously, that's in their bag, doing what they do and making good games. Like, I kind of want them to do a Sunset Overdrive 2. I want them to do some other things. I want a Sunset Overdrive update. That's what I want, but I know that's probably near impossible now. But yeah, there's so much stuff elsewhere to play. Also, Super Mario Wonder comes out
Same day as
same day
Spider-Man.
as Spider-Man 2, which I might actually be more day one on that one, just because I'm a sucker for 2D Mario games. But yeah, it's a crazy week. Switch has had a good year for releases. As much as I hate the piece of shit device that it is, they've had a lot of good games come out, and I'm hoping to God that these games are back compat for the new Switch when it hits. But if not, it is what it is. At least like a 2D Mario, like it's probably gonna look okay and stuff on the screen. So, Charlie Hustle says Super Mario Wonder and RoboCop pre-order. Did anybody here play that RoboCop demo they had?
No, but I'm probably gonna wind up picking it up at some point as well.
Is that coming on console?
Yeah, it's coming to console, PC, PlayStation, Xbox.
So you're gonna get it, Jasper? Did you play the demo at all?
I didn't play the demo. I'm probably gonna get it like probably next year when there's like a slower period. Like, and it'll be like $10 or something. That's probably when I'll pick it up. But
right on.
It does look like something I want to play.
What about you, Psycho?
I'm probably not picking up Spider-Man 2 day one.
What about RoboCop?
Yeah, I want to talk about Spider-Man 2 real quick.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
No, hey, finally, PlayStation, they finally got a game that scored higher in the 90s. That's the first one in 3 years, so congratulations to them.
Didn't Ragnarok get a 90 plus or no?
Ragnarok got a 90.
Yeah, I thought Ragnarok got.
Oh, okay, then never mind. So they got two 90s within the in about a year of each other. So congratulations to them.
Demon Souls got a 92.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about it. No, it's gonna seems to be fun. I like the first one. I did not play Miles because I wasn't gonna pay that money for DLC, and this one I'll wait till Black Friday comes up really cheap, or just there's just too many games. RoboCop I'm gonna wait just because there's so many games between games that getting updates like Season 5 for Halo, the Season 2 for Diablo 4, and still got to finish Starfield, still got to go finish Sea of Stars, playing freaking Age of Empire 4, and going through Forza Motorsport. I'm just like, I don't have the time to get through all this stuff. So it's that game would be something down the road. I'll probably pick up Spider-Man before RoboCop.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
So RoboCop kind of like, honestly, I was not high on it. I didn't like what I had seen of the gameplay footage that was premiered before, but now that people had all played the demo, a lot of people are really liking RoboCop based on what they played. So it's actually a little bit more on my radar. They said it felt like a great homage, or if you will, to the franchise. So I'm down for that kind of stuff, man. If it's like actually hardcore like that and stuff, I watched a little bit of the videos and stuff. It looks a little slow, right? It looks like it should be
your RoboCop,
right? Exactly. It looks like it almost should be like a shooter on rails, like a light gun shooter from the arcade days and stuff. But that's still kind of cool and different at the end of the day now, right? So I don't know if I'll be day one on it, but it's another game definitely for my radar. So maybe I'll check it out. But there's, like you said, there's too much stuff to play, dude. The fact that I haven't gotten Mortal Kombat yet is absolutely bananas to me. Like, I think about it occasionally. Well, I'll see videos and stuff. I'm like,
bananas.
How am I not playing this game? It's because Starfield and Forza. That's why I'm not playing it. And then honestly, like, I'm more interested in getting back into Diablo as well. So it's just too much, bro. Too much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think we both bought pretty much all the fighters over the past couple of years, and yeah, I
When the
haven't
big
picked
one
up
comes
Mortal
out, you don't
Kombat.
buy it.
dude, I was so talking about fighters like for so long. Be like, this is the year for fighting games to make the return, and I said that about racing games too. You know, but I was excited about especially this generation. Like, you know, it's a kind of a return to glory for fighters and racing games. But now that we have like, there's just been too much this year.
Yeah.
That like the racing has taken the front seat. There's been this like, I feel like it's kind of almost like the 360 era in a way. Right now, where there's just so many different games releasing frequently that are high quality, and that are interesting. Like Xbox, like between
I don't
start
think the 360 ever had a year where it was like this crazy.
to look at the releases in 2007.
I mean, there was
Yeah.
crazy, but like this year is like it's every month. Like 2007, you had like some breaks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the 2007 game releases.
Well,
like
I think more of the games were towards the end of the year and beginning of the year of this
Yeah.
year. So it just got clustered. That whole it was just weird. Like after Redfall and before, just after E3, that was just like a stagnant. That was your time to catch up on some your back catalog. But
yeah, so here's I just found this list of like 2007 games and expansions scoring at least 88 Metacritic. I don't know why they chose that as the cutoff, but Super Mario Galaxy, The Orange Box, BioShock, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which was my favorite, Halo 3, Oblivion, God of War 2, let's see, a Rock Band, Resident Evil 4 released on the Wii, Mass Effect, Crisis. And you remember that Orange Box also had 3 games in it, right? So you had Portal, you had Half-Life 2, and Team Fortress 2, right? Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, which I don't know if that was an expansion for it or if that's the actual name of Metroid Prime 3. I don't remember. But
I mean, but to be fair though, the Orange Box was old games already. It was just like a collection.
no, Portal was brand new, and so was
Oh, it
Half-Life
was
2.
Well, Half-Life 2 came out in what, like 2005 or some shit, didn't it?
No, it was
PC.
on PC. On Xbox, it
Yeah.
was brand new.
Well, it was on Xbox brand new, but I'm talking about all those games.
It was
like,
new to me. Like, you know, Portal was new, and I think Team Fortress 2 was new
back
on
then,
console
Jasper,
too.
a lot of people were only on console.
Yeah. Forza Motorsport 2. You had The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Uncharted released that year. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Virtua 5 Online. There's World in Conflict. I don't remember that one.
that was a fucking awesome RTS.
Yeah, I think I played it. I don't know for sure.
I think it was published by Ubisoft.
There was Persona 3. There was Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. There was Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, which was a updated version of Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, geez, dude. Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Hitman Trilogy also released. I mean, that's just the ones that scored 88 or higher. Like, if you also Assassin's Creed had launched that year. Initially, it was their first time coming out. Did I say Halo 3 already? That came out that year. Like 2007 was fucking crazy, bro. Crackdown released that year. Even if you just look at it, okay. Orange Box, Assassin's Creed, BioShock, Crackdown, Crisis, Mass Effect, Rock Band, Skate came out that year. The Darkness came out. The original Witcher, Uncharted, Super Mario Galaxy, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, God of War 2. I mean,
Yeah.
And it's what I'm saying is, like, if there's a conversation to be had with some of the best years in gaming, I think that 2023 is in the conversation, but like 2007 is kind of holds up as well. It's just been so long, you know.
Yeah, I think the thing with 2007 is they just all kind of came out around the same.
A lot of holiday
time.
releases.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
holiday releases. Yeah.
It was a pick and choose.
Whereas this year,
Black
like
Friday.
every month has been a
Mhm.
big game.
Yeah, spread out a little bit better. Like Hi-Fi Rush will be one that came out in January randomly. Like that it scored it really well. And
You had Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4
this year.
remake. Yeah.
Hogwarts.
Dead Space, Hogwarts, Diablo was in the summer. Like,
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi was early spring or late spring.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy 16 hit.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario
Yeah.
Wonder. Nuts.
Forza Starfield.
I know Assassin's Creed Mirage doesn't score very well, but the people that are playing it were really liking it. It's actually one of their best-selling Assassin's Creeds too, probably because of the price point. But that's taken off really well, which I need to play that too, and I haven't had a chance to. Like, it's just like back in my mind.
Ubisoft Plus.
Not to mention
Yeah,
all the
I've been
fucking
thinking about
Nintendo games that none of us ever think of. Like, didn't Pikmin 4 come out this year?
Yes.
Yeah,
Was
I
that,
think so.
but,
Yeah.
Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 1 and 2 also got released.
Octopath Traveler 2 is a game that a lot of people are calling their game of the year, right? As well.
Correct.
Did Triangle Strategy come out this year? Or was it last year?
I think it was this year.
I think it was too.
Because I think it was like there was a couple Square Enix games. It was the Pixel remaster of Final Fantasy this year, and then you had Octopath Traveler 2, and I think it was that game, Triangle Strategy, came out earlier in the year, and then the Sudoku 1 and 2 remaster.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's still coming out, but they haven't said they haven't switched the 2023 date yet. So that if that drops, I mean that's another big, and that looks amazing, by the way. And don't forget Star Ocean Story of R.
Yeah.
That is holy shit. I saw, I looked at that game and I was like, man, that's kind of how I wished Final Fantasy 7 was handled. That was beautiful. I mean, that was like
we still
that
got.
was
Oh my! This year saw so much shit.
kind of like next gen ish, but still paying homage to the source. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's that pixelated environment, but the characters were highly detailed.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Final Fantasy was like that, and it kind of had that and the whole game instead of this piecemeal thing that they're going on with right now? It's just like, I think that would have been a better approach to that. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Part of 2007 for me though, like I know we're on a random off the cuff conversation, but part of 2007 for me though is the franchises that launched in that year. Right?
Mhm.
All in the same year. You
definitely.
had BioShock get its first game. You had Mass Effect get its first game. You had Crysis get its first game. You had Crackdown get its first game. You had Assassin's Creed get its first game. You had The Darkness. You had The Witcher. You had Uncharted, right? Like, all of these are franchises that really like stood the test of time over the next 15 years, for the most part. Some of them killed off.
They were juggernauts.
Rock Band as well. And then you had and this wasn't the start of a franchise, but it was, for me, it was kind of the start of something special within Call of Duty, because Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare literally changed the game for Call of Duty. It changed it from like a popular shooter that was kind of taken off to like a monster, right? Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare completely changed the game for COD. It became this multiplayer juggernaut that kept getting bigger and bigger every release since then.
We also are forgetting about the #1 rated game this year, Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate fucking 3, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that game, but have you beaten it yet, Jasper?
Yeah, I beat it like a couple weeks in.
How ass is that third act?
I only had like a few weird bugs, but it wasn't like the only thing that was like game breaking, but it only lasted like 10 seconds was like it like teleported my characters to like some like test map where everything like had no textures, and then it like instantly teleported my characters back to the normal land, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The only problem that I had was the final cutscene. One of the characters was like bouncing up and down really fast. Like it was really weird. But that was just the final cutscene, so like the final act was actually pretty solid for me.
And how many reviewers didn't finish that game, and hence why we never heard anything about it?
Yeah, I'm like 47 hours into the game right now, and I'm like, or 50 hours roughly, and I'm like, I started Act 2, and that's where I left off, because like Starfield was coming out, and then all these other games. So Baldur's Gate is going to be a game I go back to for like years and years and years. But yeah, it's going to be
Alan. Alan wants spoilers, so Alan, guess what? You get the fuck a bear.
Alvin.
He said no spoilers.
Oh no! I mean, you don't get the fuck a bear. Sorry.
Alvin did his with a $5 super chat. Said Symphony. Fuck. Who am I? Psycho.
Symphony of Psycho.
Symphony of the Night and Halo 3 are better than the entire rest of 2007 combined. But yeah, that year was insane. Yeah, it was nuts. It's for me, that's always been a special one. Also, like 2K7 and NBA 2K7, I feel like is the best NBA 2K that's ever been for the year that it had. So anyway,
I think the two big games we still got left this year, I think, is Alan Wake 2 and Avatar.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is still supposed to hit Xbox this year too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Yeah, you're right though. Alan Wake 2, Avatar, and let's see. I mean, if you say that the two games releasing this week also Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'm counting those as
you kind of
out
after that.
much.
Yeah. There may be more. I don't know. Like there may be more for December that we're not really thinking of off the top of our head right now. So, but yeah, what a year so far. It's been relentless, and can't stop playing these damn games, man. Let's get into some news that happened today, right? So last week the ABK deal closed, right? A huge deal, huge announcement. We're all going crazy, celebrating because we know what this means for Xbox and Game Pass and all this stuff for the future. And I think it's a good thing for gamers, right? But then the following Monday comes news: Pete Hines is leaving Bethesda, right? So now, for me, I kind of look at this a couple different ways. I feel like development-wise, this doesn't necessarily like hurt Bethesda whatsoever because he's not really been on that side. He's like was more in the marketing and then publishing side, and he had been promoted to head of publishing at Bethesda. I guess he wasn't loving his new role too much because he just decided to retire. I also kind of question like what that role was. I felt like it was more of like an honorary thing in a way. Like, I mean,
when he was first promoted, I always got the sense that he didn't really want to do that. Like, he didn't want to become part of Xbox. I always kind of got the feel like from him.
That's the thing too, and he's kind of the emails that were leaked, right? That came out, like he never seemed to be like celebrating that, which for me was interesting. And then when you saw the trial and stuff, when he was on the stand, it was like he was kind of the one that seemed off for everybody else. And I think we got to separate the two things, right? Like whether he's been on board with it or not, like he had a great time at Bethesda, helped shaping that company and doing all the things into what they became. And I'm not trying to like knock on the guy for everything he did, because Bethesda is one of my favorite has been one of my favorite publishers, game studios like out there for a long time, and he was a big part of that. So like it's a huge,
he definitely he was a major part of putting Bethesda's name on the map for a lot of people,
for sure. And we all know Todd Howard for the development side and being more the creative, you know. I think Pete was always more the businessy guy and stuff like that behind the scenes that was making a lot of things happen. Also very forward facing to the fans and stuff as well. And so you've always kind of had Pete and Todd as kind of the faces of Bethesda in a way. So one of those two faces is gone. Now I'm glad it's not the other one, to be honest with you. And I hope that doesn't happen anytime soon whatsoever. But it is interesting what happened, you know, with when the acquisition happened, and it's kind of like it seemed like he wasn't super excited about games being exclusive on Xbox and all this kind of stuff, which I also find personally a little hypocritical, because when he and ZeniMax Bethesda were doing business on their own, not part of Xbox, and we know he's a big decision maker there, they were also signing exclusivity deals for PlayStation, right? So, you know, yeah, he can say he was sorry to PlayStation fans for not getting Starfield or whatever, right? But also there was never like an apology to Xbox fans for not getting a Deathloop or Ghostwire Tokyo at launch either, right? So it seemed like maybe he was kind of in a weird place where maybe he really, I don't know if maybe he just loved the PlayStation community or what. I don't really know. But
It almost seems like he was kind of mad that the attention was going to get taken away from him, because he knows that like when he was in control of Bethesda, like he can get as much attention as he wants. Whereas when he's under Xbox, he knows that he can't do that.
or he doesn't have the decision making power that he had before in
correct.
control, right? And I
He
think that's
doesn't
more like it head of publishing Bethesda, when you have to still report and answer, get all the stuff from the Microsoft side. What does that really mean, right? Like, did he feel like his position maybe was a little redundant at the end of the day? It was more of an honorary thing for him. Yeah,
He's
like
he got chopped at the knees going to Xbox, so he was kind of like bitter a bit. But I mean, with the whole apology to the PlayStation side, I don't know if they were PlayStation were given, you know, he was doing it because he was getting a big bag to get Bethesda games onto PlayStation. Not saying he's getting a big bag, but Bethesda was getting the bag. So this way the company stays afloat. And then, you know, he kind of like, you know, it was going to be announced. And then here comes the Xbox. And then, you know, like Pete, or not Pete, but, you know, here, Todd Howard is kind of like, yo, Phil, we're about to get PlayStation exclusive rights to Starfield. Won't you swoop in? And then I think Pete kind of got butthurt about that.
It's weird because like you can go back to like old like conferences and stuff. He's always seemed happier before the Xbox deal. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, he was in the limelight. You know, he was the guy that he made the calls. He made the. Maybe he's like an egomaniac a little bit. You know, he was kind of like that narcissistic kind of guy. Like I'm the guy.
I know it sounds like we're shitting on him, but like he's a great dude.
No, he is.
Yeah, I don't want to slander him. Like that's the thing.
He's a great guy. But he just seemed butthurt. I mean, it just his whole reaction, his body language, how he, you know, like you said, he apologized to the PlayStation community, but not once say sorry, guys, that, you know, Deathloop and Ghostwire had that timed exclusive deal.
Yeah, and we also know there was negotiations for Starfield about that stuff too, right? So like,
and that probably was going to get a 2-year or plus.
So that's why I kind of like when he was like about the exclusivity thing, I'd always kind of like it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, because like if you actually cared about that, you know, like why were you, when you had more control and more power over the decisions that were happening at ZeniMax Bethesda, why were y'all doing the deals for exclusivity on PlayStation, right? And that was without being owned. That was with being independent, you know. So that was their decision, and whether it was his or not, I don't know, you know. But like obviously, you know, he was pretty big high up there, and he never, regardless if it was his decision or not, he was never out there publicly being like, I'm sorry to Xbox fans that the Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo, or whatever is not coming to Xbox, right? But the second that, you know, Xbox acquired ZeniMax Bethesda, that's one of the first things that he had said. And then you saw the leaked emails where he's like, almost, like Phil, how come you didn't tell us about this interview or whatever where you're talking about Call of Duty being exclusive? Like, don't you think that Todd is going to get asked questions? It's like, I mean, that's a little bit of a ego thing there. I feel like really there's no correlation between the two, or it should be an expectation of that, in my opinion. Like, Todd can handle himself in those situations, and he didn't seem to be ever an issue really with Todd Howard. And it seems like Pete was trying to kind of puff his chest up there a little bit with some of those emails, like "How dare you" kind of thing. And I don't know, like it never seemed. I don't know. He didn't seem like a good fit with the structure, right? Is that what you getting, Fuzzy?
Yeah, I said that from get go. I didn't think that guy wanted to be there. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as it was announced, his body language, everything he talked about, it just seemed like I don't want to be here. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested. It's like,
well, see, the thing is, like, when you're one of the big dogs and you don't usually have to answer to anybody other than the guy that passed away, and pretty much at that point, that guy was more in a role where Pete could probably convince him whatever Pete thought would kind of go through, kind of thing. So when you go from not having to really answer to anybody to now you have to answer to a company above you, even though you're technically running things independently and you're kind of headed up to, be that top guy still, but it's more so in name, more so than function. It definitely changes your outlook on things, whether we want to look at it as, he preferred PlayStation or whatever the case may be. It put him in a less comfortable position, and that makes people, I wouldn't say irritable or resentful or whatnot, but you've all seen, in whatever field you've worked in, you've seen a disgruntled employee to some extent. And when that disgruntled employee is towards the top, and things like Redfall happen where, yes, all hands on deck were for Starfield, but you still probably, especially with the position he was in, you probably still should check in on your other team and not just kind of leave them out there to die. And even if they're not coming to you for stuff, the leadership should have known to go to them like, hey, let's sit down and see where we're at, kind of thing. And I don't know if that was done, but I know after Redfall, I'm pretty sure he sat in a meeting for the first time probably in his 20 plus year career and got a chewing. Now, it may not have been a chewing like getting yelled at or anything like that, but when you're the big guy and now somebody's telling you, no, we can't let this stuff happen, blah, 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 you're not going home happy. You're sitting in your car before you walk into the house cursing kind of thing. So I just think they probably convinced him to stay on for at least Starfield. Like, I think he probably wanted to get out of there earlier. And I thought he would be that guy that bounced within a year kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure Todd was like, yeah, we kind of need you around here to, make sure we get all the troops, all hands on deck for Starfield and blah, blah, blah. And he probably was like, yeah, sure. I'm getting paid. I still have my shares that the internal stuff or profit sharing that he could probably cash out on and stuff. But he stayed on, completed his job. He goes out on a high note with Starfield, despite the naysayers saying whatever about Starfield. That's a generational game that, people are going to still be looking back on as far as a pivotal moment for Bethesda, a pivotal moment for Xbox in general. And he was a part of that. So he can leave with, his chin held high and not have as much of the Redfall issues on his shoulder kind of thing. But I didn't think he wanted to be there from the minute it was announced. And you could see it in his face, his mannerisms and apologies and just the whole, shooting match. And that it's, more power to him for whatever he does after this, unless it's over at Team Blue, which, and I think I said this Friday, I'm like, don't be surprised if, no, actually I said that for Mikey Barra, but either him or Mikey Barra, I think one of them's going to wind up at Team Blue, if not both of them. I think Mikey Barra is the next one that's going to exit.
When this Activision deal gets done, like, you're going to see like a lot of people probably like bounce, some of them. So like, I'm wondering if they maybe like start their own little thing up. A lot of these industry like people, they get together. It's like, well, Microsoft just bought us. Why don't we just start our own studio now? And
Well,
make
I
the
mean,
games
they're
we
getting
want
a
to
lot
make.
of money from these things, right? You can imagine being in the
Yeah.
positions of how many shares they had of these companies.
He gets to sit on his
or-
retirement for a year, do nothing, and then when all the people at Activision leave and say, "Hey, you want to get together?" Then he's like,
Yeah.
"Sure, I haven't
Although-
done anything for a year. I've been relaxing."
I know
Yeah.
ZeniMax Bethesda was a private company, so I don't really know how that works there, right? So,
A lot of times you get rolled into like the profit sharing. Or
Right.
at least with the private company I work for, you got a piece of the pie based on the overall either profits or overall performance of the company. And you kind of get shares or what are like internal shares to some extent. So if
Yeah.
it does get sold, I mean, you don't get anywhere near the ownership level stuff, but you at least get, you know, an extra padded bonus, I guess, in
Yeah.
comparison. But I wouldn't be surprised if that Bethesda deal netted him a few $100,000, if not.
I mean, he's
you know,
also one of the
more.
top people at Bethesda, so I'm sure he got a nice paycheck.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah.
for me, it feels like more than anything, like because he had so much control over there with like their marketing, because that's what he was. He's a marketing guy, right? With it, so he kind of controlled the narrative in the face of Bethesda as far as like what's put out there and all that kind of stuff. And when Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Bethesda, one of the first things they did was they promoted him to head of publishing, and then put, I don't remember her name, but they put another person.
Aaron.
Yeah, they put her in his role, right? And then he was going to be head of publishing, and I guess that's what he's done for about a year or so, or more. But it kind of seemed like a little bit of lack of power or control over what he has the ability to do now, and he's not used to that. Probably like the decisions have to go to somebody else up higher up, whether he checks with Matt Booty or Phil Spencer, however the chain of command goes through there, right? And it's like, okay, well, I'm not having the maneuverability or ability to kind of get the messaging that I want out there. Like, what's the point of my existence here at ZeniMax Bethesda now?
I mean, at the end of the day,
right?
it would have been Xbox's decision on whether the fucking game comes out or not. So it's
Right.
like,
do you feel, I almost feel like his position and promotion to head of publishing at ABK at this point, or not ABK, sorry, ZeniMax Bethesda, kind of feels like it was more of like an honorary thing to kind of like try and keep him happy for longer and stuff. But then at the end of the day, like, is that really a position they necessarily need to fill? Is there somebody else that takes that role, or do they just kind of put that underneath Matt Booty now, or extend, or they promote from within, or is that just, was it an honorary role that didn't really even need to exist in the first place? Like, I'm kind of curious about
It
that.
probably needed to exist. It's just I think they'll promote from within or somebody in a similar position from elsewhere. Like they might, I could totally see them even possibly taking somebody from ABK or within
Yeah.
that organization and possibly sliding them over there as well, if not somebody already from the Xbox organization. But it's a position that's needed, but
Yeah.
the way they were running before, probably not. But there'll be somebody that kind of fills that position. It just might be titled slightly
yeah,
different.
he was the captain of another ship, and Xbox is the admiral. And so, like, you need the captain of Bethesda, and you also need the admiral at Xbox. So it's like you got to think of it kind of like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
he's the leader of that ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see who gets the nod now. Like, going from marketing aspect where he was primary focus to head of publishing was probably a little bit of a different deal for him too. Maybe he just wasn't enjoying that side as much, and I kind of question what it was he was doing. I guess like making the deals for, because I mean at the end of the day, like Microsoft and Xbox is the publisher, because ZeniMax Bethesda has an arm under them, right? So like whatever they publish, you have to, I would think, has to get the final say so from Xbox. So it's kind of like, well, I mean, make this deal and see if we can't get it approved or whatever. But also, I feel like probably they're giving the inclination of what they want ZeniMax Bethesda to do as well, right? From the Microsoft end, and I don't know.
I think he's more just like the report man to Xbox, like at the end of the days,
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of what it was. And you need that because Xbox isn't going to keep having to constantly send someone down to look at it. They want someone that's going to keep sending shit up to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
like where are the teams at? How far is the game along? What
Yeah.
what do you need as far as resources, if any, type of thing?
So Magnum Westward said Pete Hines to replace Bobby Kotick. Yeah, I don't. If that was the case, then he would have stayed on board and just gotten promoted, or
That's
get put in
also
that
two
position.
different positions
And
anyway.
and honestly, I don't think he's probably qualified for that. I mean, at the end of the day, going from marketing to head of publishing for like a year to then taking on a monster of ABK, which is like 10 times the size of Bethesda was, at least in dollar value. But even then, like, talk about
People wise,
everything. It's another animal. You almost have to have one of these huge gaming executives like over ABK under the umbrella there. I think Sarah Bond could do it. We were talking about that. I think that former executives of other companies, you could look and see who's out there that may be interested, or you promote from within of Activision Blizzard itself that has more
bring
of a
back Don
understanding.
Matrick.
No,
No. Yeah.
not that guy. Not the other one from Stadia either.
Yeah. What if there's Chico actually brings up a good point. Shout out to Chico. Says that Matt Booty doesn't like people who go against Xbox. Pete had to go. Could this have been like a little bit of a rubbing, like not 100% jiving between Booty and Hines?
I think it was at the get-go. Pete didn't want to be under Xbox.
Yeah. You think
he didn't do himself any favors though, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you also at the end of the day, in a way, you kind of have to respect. He built that up, the company. He worked his way up there, right? 20 something years, and what had achieved a status where he was a big time decision maker at the company. Became one of the major faces of the company. Really shaped the direction and helped ZeniMax Bethesda become what they are, to the point now where you really don't have a lot of control over your decisions from that aspect. So like, but I still think that for some reason he was more interested in the PlayStation gamer than he was the Xbox gamer for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe player count.
I just think he wanted to be. I don't think he even cared which console it was. I think he just wanted his control at Bethesda so he could leave his legacy there. And with Xbox coming in, it kind of.
Why did he apologize to PlayStation gamers for that aspect?
Because they were fucking bitching.
Yeah. So, but then why didn't he apologize to Xbox gamers about the exclusivity deals going on?
Because he knew we were going to get it, so it wasn't going to be day one. It was just going to be something down.
So he was just like, "I'll just fuck you a little bit, and that's okay." Like, it's It was,
well, but I don't think it's a fuck you,
because it was his part of his decision, right? He's not going to apologize for his decision. He's apologizing for somebody else's decision, right? With the Xbox thing. That's why he was sorry. Like, that's why, hey, sorry, it's out of my hands, right? But he's like, if I'm doing the fucking, I ain't apologizing, right? Here. Like, it was me. You gotta live with it. It's only for a year. You can take that shit. I got the money. ZeniMax Bethesda is here. We're negotiating for Starfield. Oh, we got bought out. I can't fuck people anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for all you PlayStation guys, because I know you liked how I was fucking for so long on the Xbox
the new
side.
Came in and he's now a bottom bitch and the pimp.
And it's like, oh, what? Like, I don't know. I mean, I do appreciate everything he did there. ZeniMax Bethesda for so long, but it is kind of funny to look back at it and kind of see now, like, his short-lived time. And to be honest with you, you're talking about other people leaving and stuff, Jasper. Like, I had been wondering and thought about this a lot when the Xbox started making their acquisitions, right? Like, going back to like 2017, 2018, all these other ones, these individual studios that have huge names. You got like Tim Schafer, like that. You have all these people at id, and you have people at Obsidian and really legendary developers.
The thing is, it depends on the studio. Like Tim Schafer, like they're going to let him do his own thing, but whereas Activision, they're going to be more controlling over because it's like a larger company. It's not just a singular studio, and people are more likely to leave that once they get their paycheck.
But he's
whereas
also
Tim Schafer,
not a developer, right? Yeah. So, like for him, he's like, okay, like the business end, but like all these people like In Exile, Obsidian, like Double Fine, and all these other creators that have been in the industry for years. I mean, they're all still there, and this is like for some of them 5 years later. So I feel like there's some people out there that will be like, oh, see, like this is gonna happen, you know, at Xbox Spicy Studios, and people just abandon ship and stuff. But like honestly, it hasn't really happened. Pete Hines is the first one of the big time names to abandon ship from the company, but he's not even on the development side as well, you know.
Yeah. Well, there was one other one, but it was a smaller studio, like with Undead Labs. The owner there took the bag and decided to start another studio, but then there was some HR stuff in the background that he was guilty of. So there's that. But
I know we talked
of the
about.
time, like
I was gonna say we talked about this last night, your Mavcast or whatever it was the other night. David Vonderhaar, he was like the face of Treyarch for 20 years.
Yeah,
and he left just before it went through. So, like, there's people that leave, but
Bobby Kodak's leaving, but nobody's gonna cry about that one, you know.
No, but like with the guy from Treyarch, he's probably starting his own studio, right?
Yeah, he's going to start his own place now. Like, a lot of them are going to take their money so they can have creative control. Like,
yeah.
I think in the place like with but I think with like Tim Schafer, I think he sees the opportunity where it's like I don't have to, do a GoFundMe or anything like that, and I can still do what I want to do, and they give me money to make it happen. All right, I'll do this for a few years. I mean, until maybe the purse strings get tightened or something, I think he'll be fine for I won't say forever, but for a good long time, because I don't foresee that team's purse strings ever getting tightened. Same thing would go with like In Exile and Obsidian. I think those teams are have shown that with the extra backing from Microsoft, they definitely
it's just
can,
different when it's a singular studio that's acquired, because they know that they can like still work on shit and get the funding from Microsoft. Whereas it's like a large company like Activision, they're still going to be kind of under the reins of that company, like decisions more. So
it's just somebody else signing the check this time.
Yeah, I mean, do you think also like there could be some like weird animosity like about the acquisition of ABK, like some like ego thing? I thought we were going to be the new big dogs, and now you bring in ABK. Who are we now? Like, you're not even going to pay attention to us anymore. Like, like you're bringing in like this new like big shiny thing, and like, what are we? We're just like pittance. Were we not enough for you? Like, is it?
It's like the Toy Story thing where it's like, I don't want to play with you anymore, and he throws Woody.
Right. Like, I thought we were going to be your shiny new toy. You know, like.
No, I think Bethesda has solidified their place within the Xbox family. I don't think that's what it was. I mean, I can kind of see that being,
I've seen some joke tweets like from like In Exile and people like that, like talking about like, well, everybody's talking about ABK, but hey, did you know we have this cool thing called Clockwork Revolution? That's like, so like. There's been some joke stuff out there from some of the studios, right? But what if that was actually in the back of his mind? Like, that'd just be crazy. That'd be major.
That goes again from what I said. He's an egotistical maniac, and he didn't get the limelight. And
we're not slandering
again.
him. We just
love. Pete Hines is fantastic. He's a great person. He just.
Fuck him.
He just didn't get the attention that he wanted, and now instead of just being what it is and just let it go, he got upset and going to retire. Good for him. I wish I could retire, but I can't.
Yeah, he's gonna be somewhere else. I think.
He's still be fun.
Like you said,
he'll be on a beach.
I think
something.
No, I think he's going to start up his own studio.
Yeah,
maybe a couple years from now, but he won't. I don't think he'll start it up. He'll get recruited by someone, if anything.
Yeah.
The only other one I can think of that was a big name that left was Shinji Mikami.
Oh yeah,
right. But like he had already put out there that he was going to retire like well before this stuff happened. So that was kind
also
of
all the fucking people at the the Perfect Dark studio would have fucked their
Crystal Dynamics.
Oh,
Initiative. Yeah.
There was like so many of them that fucking came and went. So
yeah.
Well, that I'll be honest, that was
but that wasn't an acquisition to happen.
Either.
Yeah. I mean, when you have that many cooks in the kitchen, like top level cooks, there's bound to be some bumping of egos and ideas, and not everybody's going to fit in there well. And then when it I guess came to fruition that okay, this other guy isn't, or Gallagher, I think, what was it? Daryl Gallagher is the one, I think.
Yeah, he's
Drew Murray.
When he was put in charge, and
Daryl
then
Gallagher's
it was
in
like
charge of the whole studio. Drew Murray was was the creative director over the game.
Correct.
yeah, and they were like, oh, we're going to hand this off to this other team, and then I think Drew kind of was like, yeah, this isn't what I thought I signed up for, and Insomniac has been calling me, and I got some family stuff at the same time. Maybe it's my this is a
we also
perfect time
just
to
had
kind of.
Joseph Staten just leave too. So
Yeah,
Well, he
but
got
again,
that
that's
was
not a-
Netflix, right?
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
They
they brought him
They
in
were
and
like-
then he left.
with as
It's
many
just-
that stuff's always going to happen. I'm just referring specifically to like acquiring a studio and having the top talent leave, right? The
Yeah.
top names,
Yeah.
right? The only two that really come to my mind from those situations is Shinji Mikami and Pete Hines. But Pete Hines not really necessarily a talent for the game side. He was a business guy, marketing and all that, and then now publishing as well. Like Shinji Mikami was a creative genius, right? So that I feel like is actually a bigger loss for me. Just knowing that you have this legendary creator that's not there, but and he already had put out there that he was going to leave at some point anyway. And he's handled it such a class act kind of way all along the way. Like much respect to that guy, and I hope if he does do more, I hope he has a lot of success. Pete Hines, I could care less, honestly, what the hell he does. I mean, he did great at Bethesda for so long and helped turn it into a studio I love. But you know what I mean? Like, he can go.
I love how everything starts off with "fuck this dude," but he's a great dude.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's not like for me. Like the business side, I'm like cool,
Yeah, I know.
right? But like the creatives is really like the people I'm a fan of because like I'm a fan of their artwork. The creative genius and talent that it takes to come up with these ideas and put it down and actually turn it into a game, right? And he's just not one of those people, so I could care less. He could go make another company successful. He could piggyback on the back of another creative genius like Todd Howard if there's another one out there he can find and leech off of for 20 years. I'm kidding. I think he did great.
Harsh.
No, I think he did great things at Bethesda. So we'll see what he does now. Maybe him and Shinji Mikami will team up and he'll piggyback off of Shinji for another 24 years until they're in their 70s.
No, I honestly I think the villain arc in him will be somewhere on Team Blue at some point. I don't know doing exactly what. Maybe a
he'll
Jim
replace
Ryan
Jim
replacement.
Yeah. Oh,
But
dude, that would be crazy. You know what? He would be good for that. I feel like. I mean, he obviously loves making PlayStation games exclusive. Anyway, and
his ego
he has an inside knowledge of Bethesda and Xbox. So
I don't like.
He doesn't
It's different,
apologize
like,
for fucking Xbox fans too. So that just feels right up Jim Ryan's alley.
It's different, like being a game like head publisher versus like running the entire game console.
For
So,
sure.
oh yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I think his insider knowledge of that of the Xbox and Bethesda operation could be valuable. So if he's not the full on Jim Ryan replacement, somewhere on that team or staff. So
he would be way better for Sony forward facing for the fans than Jim Ryan. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because
he plays games. So,
he actually knows what he's talking about.
He's like, God damn it, I gotta fucking make some stupid promotion for these headphones that come out again. Fuck this.
Yeah. He won't enjoy that.
No, you gotta talk up baby steps. What?
Yeah, it is interesting though. Whereas Sony is looking for a replacement right now, and you know what I mean. You take Pete Hines away from, that would be crazy to see like this villain arc from the Xbox side form over Pete Hines. He originally apologized to PlayStation fans.
Well, Bobby Kodak's gonna be out before the end of the year. and PlayStation's only covering it till March or whatever, right? So,
well, Bobby Kotick is not going to work another day
Yeah,
in
I
his
know.
life, probably. He's going to go.
I don't think PlayStation would be crazy enough to hire him. I mean, yes, is he a shark as far as a businessman? Yes, but the PR aspect, I don't think they want that.
Yeah,
I think that
no, he's probably going to form some like crazy like sex island or something. Is probably what Bobby Kotick's going to do.
Whoa.
Osby Island.
What was the
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the next.
his island's probably for sale, so we can just go reboot that operation.
With
Yeah.
all the lady boys that you want.
It's like this guy, the Kotick is just like a kind of
Invite Bill Clinton out every once in a while.
yeah. Kotick just like reeks, like he just it oozes scumbag out of him, right? So like we'll see what he does with his millions. But yeah, I don't think he'll be there. But Pete Hines would be an interesting fit for Sony. I feel like it would be like a big, different animal for Pete Hines to tackle. But like for the forward facing and promoting to the fan base and stuff, I feel like he would be way better than Jim.
Wait, where did Larry Herb go? Did he go to Nintendo? I know he visited
No, he
Nintendo.
just.
No.
I think he just left. He hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, we see Larry
Jesus.
Herb
Yeah.
and Pete Hines at the PlayStation. Hey everybody, it's the State of Play. It's Larry Herb, Major Nelson here on PlayStation Network here. And
I'm here with my friend Pete Hines over here.
Good old Pete here. We're gonna talk PlayStation Plus and the games that aren't coming day one.
We got a special guest, Larry Herb. Or no, not Larry. Mikey Barra.
Special guest here is the brand new head of the Games of Service division here at PlayStation. It's Mike Ibarra, fresh off of the heels of the Activision Blizzard. Good old Larry. I miss Larry Herb. He was great.
Yeah.
Crazy Larry here. Anyway.
Why does he sound like a Muppet?
He does. Larry Herb sounds like a Muppet. With all due respect, I always thought he was awesome, but he always sounded like a Muppet. I'm here with the head of Xbox's Phil Spencer to talk about DRM, and we can't flip the switch, everybody. That switch is unflippable.
Our next segment is we're going to take a look at the upcoming games this week to Xbox with our Games with Gold add-ons.
Crazy Larry here. It's yeah, Larry is great. But we'll see what happens with Larry. I think he's just done.
Well, isn't he like 65 or some shit? I think he's just retiring.
Yeah, well, that's what they all say, right? I mean, but like him is in a different position. He wasn't like one of those like executive type guys.
Yeah.
Like he was like the voice of Xbox. Like
He was just a community manager, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, miss good old Larry.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. We miss Larry Herb's Xbox Live's Major Nelson.
Hey, you got Jeffy Rubenstein. Is it Rubenstein or Rubenstein?
Yeah.
Rubenstein.
He took over for the podcast with Kelly and two others. And actually, it flows a little bit better, to be truthful. It's like, it sounds like an actual podcast, not like a...
I'll be honest, I don't watch Xbox's podcasts and shit that they put out.
No, that's a thing. Like, it was just very bland, and now with the four of them, it's very engaging. It's really good, and it's the one chick that took over for the media. She was the new hire that helped with the Xbox Directs. Do you remember
Charlie?
Is
Blonde
that what her
hair?
name? No, she was
There's Tina Amini,
I think
right?
brunette. She's a brunette.
Are you talking
Okay.
about Trixie 360 back in the day? What are we
No,
talking
no, no,
about?
no. No, the new chick that
That's
took over.
Tina Amini.
Is that her name? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's the one that was going to do the. Everyone thought it was like we were kind of going. It was like the Xbox, like movies, TV, like branch of. So, anyways, she's on it. It's Jeff Kelly, her, and then this one other guy. Really good flow. I watched it a couple times, and that's because I think Kelly's hot, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I know Calorie was saying in the chat he thinks John Layden would be a good fit over Activision Blizzard to help mend the relationship for Tencent, with ABK. For me personally, I don't put anybody in charge of ABK that doesn't believe in Game Pass or doesn't like Game Pass. Like, just knowing the mentality there is like against the whole idea and economics of what you're doing. It's like you have an interview with somebody. How do you feel about our what we're trying to do? I don't like it. Like, okay, have a nice day. I mean, he's been very public about it, and like his disdain for Game Pass and stuff, and interviews, and how he thinks it's bad for gaming, and that it's not a good business model, and it can't be successful, and all those kind of things. And like for me, that's just like, okay, well,
I just feel like whoever they take to put over for Boba Kotick is going to be someone at Activision already. I don't think Xbox is going to fill that position with their side yet. I think they'll leave him in that position, whoever that takes over, for a couple of years, and then when Xbox is ready to kind of shift that studio and company over, then they'll put someone in charge.
Yeah, and it's I see the chat talking. Yeah, NetEase, not Tencent, right? Because it's NetEase is the ones that were handling all of the China publishing.
Oh yeah, the Call of Duty mobile.
Right. So yeah, it's Sean Layden. He's just an advisor over at Tencent right now, making money and stuff. He can keep doing that. I think Jack Tretton would be more interesting because he's actually been more outspoken about like how he thought the ABK deal was good for gaming. Actually, at the end of the day, he's actually talked about Game Pass in a more positive light in the past in interviews, and he was a good forward-facing person. Actually, I feel like even better than Sean Layden was for PlayStation. You have to go back further a little bit, but I feel like Jack Tretton would have been an interesting one. But these people are probably just
he's the one that kind of turned the PS3 generation around.
Yeah, and took them into that. Like, you always got to realize, like, a lot of times people get the credit for the stuff that the people did before them, and it's set on the path, and like Jim Ryan had reaped a lot of rewards from the PS4 generation that was carried through Jack Tretton to Sean Layden, Shuhei Yoshida, all these guys and stuff, and then Jim Ryan's there, and it's like it just carries along that. But then we're really gonna know what Jim Ryan's era really was capable of and did after 4 or 5 years from now, when we see all the stuff that actually gets released right under his watch.
If Bungie doesn't kill it first.
Yeah, if Bungie doesn't kill it first. But we can't be looking at Jim and think, oh, all the price increases, all these other things, and all that stuff. That was decisions that made in time, right, with what was going on in the industry. So we can. I think
long term though, Jim Ryan's outlook's going to be better though, just because he did acquire 9+ studios. So long term, PlayStation's going to have more content because of him.
Yeah, dude, very fortunate. Whether people like the content or not will be determined, right? And we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping so. I really am. Let's see what else happened. We already talked.
Square is fucking shitting the bed on the stock markets
again. Yeah, even more because they were already down like 30%.
Yeah, it's the lowest they've been since 2020, I think.
So that back down to pre-COVID numbers.
Yeah, below 5,000 yen.
So
Square?
Yeah. So a lot of people were thinking that's going to be like the automatic go for Sony to try and acquire them, right? And honestly, I feel like they're in a very vulnerable spot as far as like potentially wanting an acquisition. But do you think because at the end of the day, for Sony to buy Square, almost has to Microsoft has to almost give them the blessing, like, we're not going to outbid you.
Yeah.
Like, because
I think,
they have to shop it around, right? It's a publicly traded company.
yeah, I made a mention in the DMs, possibly like maybe Xbox investing, maybe getting major stock shares into Square to help them out. This way they can't be bought without their blessing, you know?
Well, I
So,
don't think. Here's the thing with Microsoft, like a lot of people think they can't buy a Japanese company, but I feel like Microsoft.
no, I know they can.
Yeah, but Microsoft's tried so many times before that, like, they believe they can, right? So, if
Yeah.
Microsoft believes they can, that's enough for me, right? And I know you're saying you think so too, but I've seen the argument with buying the shares, because they can't buy a Japanese company, they'll never get it through.
No,
So, like,
no, I was just mentioning because they just bought ABK, so they can't, just to keep regulators from being, oh look, they're just siphoning everything out. Like there'll be this big power vacuum if Xbox goes after another acquisition right away. Then you'll possibly see maybe Netflix or Amazon kind of like swoop in and start buying up publishers quicker than later. So I'm just saying them just buying in some shares just so they can help them, and this way wait a little bit before they do go ahead and purchase them or
It's
whatever.
yeah,
they
it's
decide
weird
to do.
because like I'm wondering if a lot of companies like when they go to Square and be like, "Yo, we want to buy you for however much," and the Square says, "This is what we own. This is where our values come in." They're like, the companies don't see the value that Square offers, so it's like still overpriced.
so
Like Square maybe
yeah.
needs to cut some shit because they still have like they put like $300 million in fucking crypto. Like,
Yeah, Square's not known for making the best decisions, but I think their IP and development prowess is valuable. And they're not like an ABK or even a ZeniMax Bethesda. I feel like isn't Square only in like a couple, like 3 billion or roughly around there or something like that.
I think their market cap's there. Five or six is what would bring them home.
Right.
5 or 6 billion.
So for me, you look at it like, and I don't think Microsoft is in a necessarily need to wait situation with a Japanese publisher. If this was like a EA or a 2K or something like that, you might want to give it some distance. You know what I mean? But like with a smaller, now people may not see Square as a smaller, but if you equate it to like dollars, cents wise, equivalent, and also IP wise and all these other things compared to some of these other publishers, they are in the smaller category out there. Like,
I think the only reason Microsoft may be hesitant is because they want to make sure the Activision stuff goes through smoothly, and they don't want to acquire another 3,000 fucking people to fucking deal with.
I think maybe they're setting themselves up for a bidding war. Is what Square's trying to do. They're trying. I think Square wants the max dollar they can get. They're obviously have made a lot of bad decisions business wise. We've been calling it out for years. People say, well, you think you know more than these executives? The Square Enix executives, yes. We have thought that for a long time, and we've been calling them out, and it seems like we were right every single step of the way because everything we predicted was going to happen with their financial results and stuff has actually come to fruition. And all of this stuff after the big release of Final Fantasy 16 again. Now, people are not seeing the excitement for Foam Stars. People are not seeing that as probably another good idea for that game to be exclusive, as well as a lot of the other things that they've done. And this is also despite of them finally deciding, hey, we're finally going to give Xbox some games as well with Final Fantasy 14 Online and some other stuff. They're still stock keeps plummeting because the investors have no faith in the direction of the company. They don't like the results they've seen from the sales of their games and from the stuff just going on there. So like at the end of the day, when you're a Microsoft or a Sony, you look at it like, what do you get? You get development, you get IPs, right? But the decision making would be different because you're all of a sudden the one making decisions. So you're looking at what does this fill for our gaps in the marketplace, right? And I think Square honestly checks a lot of boxes for Microsoft. And Sony, I feel like for them, their interest in it would be to make sure they don't lose Square Enix potential for exclusive games and stuff in the future, right? So Sony, it almost can't
And just the thing with Sony is they would want it just to control their future pipeline.
right.
The same reason Microsoft has as many studios as they do now is so they can put themselves in that box where they know they're protected. And
Right.
that's what they get out of the Square.
Because that's what they're using to fill their pipeline, because they don't have as many first party studios and all that stuff. So they rely on third party exclusives, like whether it's Konami or Square Enix or whoever. So when you look at it and you're Square Enix, you're setting this up, you're failing under your current business models. You replace your president, you're still failing. You release one of your biggest games in years already and still failing. People, even your investors, know that you have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming out early next year. They're still going down in stocks and all these things. And it's like, okay, what time does Sony actually put out an offer, right? Because people have been waiting for that. Now, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I don't see some of the stuff that came out in this whole ABK thing. I don't think Sony can technically put a bid out because remember, they're first place. So that would be kind of like monopolizing for that region
for Japan, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't think they can actually buy them because, in all honesty, even though it's like why buy the cow? I kind of think it is because I mean, there's the fact of why buy the cow if you're already getting the milk for free kind of thing. But if you're number one, even with Nintendo being there to some extent, I mean, you're not number one in hardware, but you're number one in software sales overall within that region. And we're talking about the upscale or the high-end console market, you're not going to be able to, without contestment from Microsoft, because all they got to do is do like a Jim Ryan, but it would actually probably hold more weight. All they got to do is contest the monopolizing of them acquiring Square. So I don't think they could walk away and get Square without one heck of a fight. Microsoft, on the other hand, I think has a much easier time, especially considering the U.S. politicians that kind of put pressure on the the trade
and that happened
people
probably
over there.
because of Sony's fight against Microsoft and the limelight that they cast upon themselves. In a way, they may have put more pressure against themselves from being able to acquire Square. But what were you going to say, Psycho?
It was just their what's their budget? I think is like 7 million. So or 7 billion. Sorry, 7 billion. Yeah, 7 million.
I think Sony had like 20 billion at one point to spend, but I don't know if they still have that.
No, that was
some of it already. Like I think the remaining amount is somewhere between 7 and 9 billion for this fiscal year. And then I think they planned on increasing it to like 13 billion or so before halfway point of fiscal year next year.
But that could be liquidating some of their other businesses within Sony to possibly front that, because that's the thing. It's that do they put it all into Square and then they look at it. Well, their games are not selling well on PlayStation. Why are we going to use most of our market cap on Square when we can get 2 or 3, possibly 4 other studios to make games? So they might look at it that way and be like, you know what, maybe it's not our. We can get maybe Konami and couple other studios that might be better suited for them. But again, if Microsoft does acquire them, I think they will make Final Fantasy multiplat on everywhere just to appease it. That's fine. To me, if Final Fantasy is everywhere, I'm fine with that. But the Dragon Quest, which is huge in Japan, and the other titles, like the Octopath Traveler 2 and things like that, and like Star Ocean, all those games that are now exclusive to Xbox, that would be more enticing to the East market than just have, because Final Fantasy doesn't have that power behind its name anymore. It's kind of got
More
diluted.
westernized.
It got diluted by Sony's wanting this action style game, like Final Fantasy 16. That's why it didn't do very well. No, they didn't want that. That's not a Final Fantasy game, So I see them possibly Sony not going after them. I could see Xbox, if they do that, they make them third party, and then everything else exclusive. And and Microsoft could very well get it, and then get Sega, and that'll be it for the East.
Square and Sega.
Yeah.
Because
maybe that's Square's problem is nobody fucking wants them.
Because
Did everything of that.
and that's another thing. But they have a lot of mobile games, and that's another thing that entices Xbox to be like, we want some mobile games. They got mobile games, so because I heard another thing that Bandai Namco is on Sony's radar.
They can't get Bandai Namco.
They're not going to be able to afford that shit.
Yeah, and plus Bandai Namco's up like really well. Like they're doing fantastic.
That's
so,
like one of the that's like the most successful Japanese publisher I think right now.
But
that and Capcom maybe. But
yeah, they may want
PlayStation Insiders.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Where's the secret show? So.
Oh, didn't you see J-Rock? He put it out. Didn't you see it?
Yeah, I saw the tweet earlier.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Sony does. I think they're going to still keep trying to acquire, right? I feel like they kind of need to. I feel like the ability for them to keep doing these third-party exclusives for the games that they feel like are going to matter at the end of the day are going to be harder to come by. They still have some that are going to be kind of popular and stuff, but like losing even just the exclusivity on some of these Square games that we know they're losing exclusivity to is going to make an impact for them. So if I was Sony, I would try and get Square, and maybe they can shape them in the right direction there. But I don't feel like even if they felt like they could get it through the regulators and stuff, I feel like Microsoft would just end up outbidding them anyway. Like, and Square, at the end of the day, I feel like wants that situation. Like, I feel like they want this bid to start or an acquisition talk to start, because if somebody makes an official offer, like they have to go shop it around, right? We saw with the ABK stuff.
The best we can do is $5.
$5. But Microsoft's just got deeper pockets, and they're willing to spend more right now, I think, than Sony is. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, does Microsoft pretty much block Sony from buying any big publishers by outbidding them?
Or just make it more expensive for them. Like,
Right.
I honestly don't want them to get Square, just because I don't feel that there's enough value. I mean, yeah, the mobile is a worthwhile thing, but I would kind of like it to where, Square should go for like 5 or 6, and maybe Microsoft bumps that up so Sony has to pay closer to 10 or 11 billion and take more money out of their pocket, take more of their, discretionary funds for other studios. So it's like each time you want a studio, even though we don't want them, we're going to make you pay more by, upping it, a few million or a few hundred million or a few billion here and there, and be like, yeah, they really want Square. Yeah, let's bid 9 billion, so they have to go 10 billion, and
Yeah.
And we have
oh
to
wait,
remember,
they're not bidding
Sony-
anymore. Damn it, we
Sony
got them for
also
9 billion.
makes the smarter acquisitions. $300 million Insomniac, $5 billion Bungie. They make the smarter investments.
I don't know about that. Like the Bungie thing,
Ouch.
that yeah, but okay, so in Insomniac, that one, I won't say it was highway robbery, but it was, I think they strong-armed them in a way, because, I think technically the only IP that they own beforehand was Sunset Overdrive. All the other ones that they've worked with Sony owns those IPs. So it was like, well, you don't own anything. You're just making stuff for us mainly, and we only got 300 million in the bank for you guys. So what do you think? And if that's your main customer to go to, and they're offering you 300 million or probably not working with you anymore, you probably go that route. And I don't think they even considered Xbox with only having that one game type of thing. So
Yeah.
that was the seal of the century.
Yeah. Nick Kerr says, I'm tired of Microsoft buying everyone. It's not fair. We can't buy any publishers too. When you say we, I'm guessing you mean PlayStation. So you consider
No,
yourself...
he means the consumer.
Oh, we can't.
He can't.
Oh,
he can't go out and buy something. I don't know. I'm just fucking with you. He probably means
I'm
Sony.
sick of Microsoft. I hope the FTC wins. Well, good luck with that. Don't think that the FTC wasting any of our tax dollars is going to be good for anybody, but that's just kind of what they are doing right now, and they're going to keep wasting, but they ain't dissolving this thing. Like, this is done. We got a couple super
Also,
chats.
no offense, but is that name like supposed to be a troll name?
It might be. You know what? I said it properly, so on purpose to make sure that but it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, Alvin Jax82 with a $2 super chat says, "You think Pete had a problem with Xbox management?" Maybe. I think so.
I think he just had more of a issue with the idea of not being the big cheese anymore.
I think he had an issue with the fact that he didn't have the power to be the management as much as he wanted anymore. Like, he has people over him making the decisions, really, that he doesn't have as much power as he had in the past. Jax82 with another $2 says, Redfall put a lot of attention on Pete Hines and the team. Yeah, maybe he didn't like Xbox's response to the Redfall situation as well. Who knows? Like, they said, yeah, we got to do a better job, like, looking in-house at what's going on over there, and Pete was the head of marketing and then publishing on that side, so kind of that falls at the feet of Pete, really, for that aspect, right? So there you go. It's very possible. Alvin, also member for 16 months, says, was that Larry or a high on quest giver? I don't know what that means, but a high on quest giver. I don't know what that means, Alvin, but appreciate you. But it was Larry for sure.
On life. He's supposed to be high on life.
On life quest giver. Oh, yes. High on life quest giver. I think so. Maybe. Was the high on life quest givers sound like that kind of?
I think it's just because there's a bunch of weird voices in High on Life, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Right on. All right. Anyway, so Moon, I kind of wanted to talk about 2024 a little bit, because I saw this tweet earlier. One of y'all shared it. I think it was you, Psycho. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Pong, potentially. From Hazardware Gaming. Great guy on Twitter, shares lots of stuff. Says next year is already shaping up for one of the best years for single player experiences, right? And we were talking earlier in the show about 2023 and how awesome it was, and kind of comparing it. But like, is 2024 actually have a chance to be as good or bigger than 2023 in a way? Like,
for Xbox, yes.
I mean, no. I'm just gonna run down some of the games that Hazardware put in his thread. You have Crimson Desert, which a lot of people are excited about. Hellblade 2, Avowed, Rise of the Ronin, which is one of the PlayStation exclusives I'm really looking forward to. I was hoping at one of their showcases that they would have shown more from that, but they didn't show anything this year from it. So Rise of the Ronin, I'm looking forward to seeing more from that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Assassin's Creed Codename Red, Star Wars Outlaws, Black Myth Wukong, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Suikoden Persona 3 Reload, Hades 2, Meta 4 de Fantasio, which is that that's in Game Pass. Is that the one that's in Game Pass? I think that was announced at a Xbox show.
Is that in I don't know if that one's in Game Pass.
I can't remember.
That one may be the one that's not.
Okay. Path of the Goddess is the one that's in Game Pass,
Yeah.
right? This one
Yes.
was at the Xbox Showcase too, though, I think. Wasn't it? Metaphor?
Yeah.
Okay. The Aiden Chronicle 100 Heroes, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Stellar Blade. That's just these are just single player games, right? This doesn't count anything else, but like you
I'll be honest, I went through the thread and like it's a lot of Eastern style shit, and I'm not excited.
right? I just think those kind of games. Hellblade 2 and Avowed. So, but I'll gonna add to this list here. Okay, you also have Flight Sim 2024. You also have Towerborn, right? Coming out next year. Aura for the RTS fans on PC, which is hitting Game Pass PC's first party, published by Microsoft.
We already had bigger RTS. Like everything, like through this list, I would say we've had bigger and better games that are comparable to these, like this year already.
Right? Is Silent Hill slated for next year or this year?
I think so.
Because it wasn't. I don't think it was on this list, but like, I thought that was a 2024 game as well.
Dead Space and Alan Wake would be the competitors to that, and I would say they're probably going to be better in Silent Hill.
Right. Calorie says, yeah, it's the same team that made Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah. And he said that one is not in Game Pass. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, I mentioned that one. It's shaping up to be pretty damn good, guys. And here's the thing, like, there's going to be more games announced, I feel like, for next year. Because so regardless if it's tops 2023, I think it's going to be a pretty damn big year. Star Wars Outlaws is a highlight for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that one looks absolutely amazing so far.
That's Star Wars Outlaws and Avowed. That's the only two games on that list he put out that I'm like,
you're not looking
that's day one for me.
You're not looking forward to Hellblade 2?
I didn't really care for it.
Okay. That's fine. I didn't originally until I played it like a couple years ago, and then I was like, wow, it's like a masterpiece. Like, so Hellblade 2 is taking things like to another level. Amit Kumar says maybe Death Stranding 2 as well next year.
Yeah.
That could be possible.
Can't wait to deliver more mail.
The Assassin's Creed Japan, the big Japan game, though, like, that might be the one that I get really excited for.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like one of those fucking Valhallas where it takes 1,000 fucking hours to beat, isn't it?
Hopefully they learn from not over bloating them. Like, hopefully it narrows down closer to like Origins than it was for Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey was fine as well, but Origins I think was like the right amount of quests and whatnot type of thing. So hopefully, like, I'm hoping this is see, they should have came out with this a couple of years ago, because this would have been like their Ghost of Tsushima kind of game, hopefully, but we'll see.
How is the new Assassin's Creed doing, like sales wise and stuff? Is it not doing great?
No idea, unfortunately. It's not doing well enough to be top of charts, or at least from like Steam or most played type of thing. But I've heard that it did better than expected as far as internal numbers for Ubisoft, but they could be saying 5 copies was what they were expecting. So I don't know. I hope it does well enough for them to consider doing more of this. Just update a few more things for this, from what I hear. If
this would have came out in the summer, I probably would have picked it up. But it's just so much shit right now. It's like, I gotta skip you.
Tekken 8 next year too.
We had like 3 fighters this year, so it's like,
yeah, we had Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1. What was the other one?
I don't know. I just think we had a shit.
Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat, and then we had was it King of Fighters, but that was, I think, last year.
That was last year, yeah.
You had the 2 big dogs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was another fighting game that kind of got popular traction that was released this year, but I don't remember what it was called. It was more of a smaller title though.
Well, Guilty Gear, I think, came to Xbox this year, so that did well for Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we're going to get the, what do you call it? Killer Instinct update, I think.
That's this
next
year, supposedly.
possibly.
That's supposed to still
Oh,
be
this
this year. Yeah. They said this year, you know, maybe they were talking out of their ass. It's not going to be ready. I don't know. But like, we'll see. I don't know when they would release it. I think at some point, that's not going to be like a way ahead of time thing. They're just going to kind of like drop it when it's ready, probably, and then tell everybody, hey, Killer Instinct update is out. Check it out, right? And then see if people kind of flood back into it.
Yeah.
But like, there even this year, there's Modern Warfare 3 is still one of the biggest games to release. You still have Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder. By the way, we're about to, after this, we'll do tidbits, Jasper, if you want to get ready.
I should start getting
yeah,
fucking giant ass list ready.
yeah, that's a lot of games. And then Modern Warfare 3. So, and then going into next year, like, I'm wondering what ABK has. Like,
Black Ops.
is it going to be Black Ops for the next?
Yeah, it's
Call of
supposed to
Duty?
be, unless if they delay it somehow.
Right. So that there was supposed to be another big release next year for COD, right?
Yeah.
And this year was originally, I think, supposed to be a stopgap year with an expansion that they turned in, and they ended up turning it into a full release. The Black Ops will be big. It'll be big, right? By the, did you like? What are you thinking so far, Jasper, of the beta?
It's a. Why is that copy the wrong link? It's pretty good. I would just, the only thing they really need to work on is the fucking spawns are atrocious in that game. They have to fix that, or the game's gonna be fucked. Other than that, like, everything that they're doing is pretty good. I'm not a fan of the TTK in the game, but a lot of people are liking it. I like the faster TTK, so my opinion on that is kind of invalid because a lot of people are loving that. But
how humble
again, yeah. But the map, the spawns are so fucking broken. Like, they got to do something.
A lot of spawn camping going on, or
it's not spawn camping. It's the opposite. Where, like, if you control a zone, enemies should not spawn in that zone you control, but enemies are spawning there, so they're being behind you when you should be able to spawn trap them.
But that happened in Crossfire X that you absolutely loved.
You could spawn trap in Crossfire X.
I mean, where you spawn behind people and stuff like that. I remember you saw talking about, like, you would just. Oh, that's right. I mean, in that game, you did, like, you just stood behind their spawn and just waited for them to spawn right in front of you. Yeah, like, that's not broken, right? Anyway,
should be. You need to fucking compete. You kill the spawn camper and then control your spawn and push out. It's called skill. You fucking get good and win. You don't fucking spawn behind someone and then ruin the fucking skill or ruin the player because that's no skill. You just spawn behind him. That's broken.
So if
you get good and compete.
So imagine dying though, and then you spawn and immediately die because somebody was right behind you.
Get shit on.
Okay, all right. I don't feel like most people would find that very fair, you know. But
yeah,
anyway.
well, get good.
Okay. I remember back in, like, Halo 2 days when there was, like, hacks starting to go on, and, like, people would, like, modded their Xboxes or whatever. I don't remember how, but, like, in the matchmaking, this happened. This was probably a couple years after Halo 2 launched officially. So, like, you would sometimes just, like, spawn, and, like, some of the hacks would be like a turret just, like, shooting at you, like, nonstop. You just spawn into turrets. You'd spawn into, like, sniper headshots constantly all the time, just, like, instantaneous, right? There'd be people flying through the sky, just, like, hitting, like, the button over and over again and just headshotting everybody because all they had to do is hit the button, right? Jasper's answer to that is, get good!
Well, hacks are different from a broken, shitty game design standpoint.
Like Crossfire X has really shitty games. But yeah, I had fun with the beta too. I thought the controls were pretty good. I still like. Do you know how many maps they're gonna have?
However many maps Modern Warfare 2 launched with. So I think it's 16 or some shit like that. But it's literally just all Modern Warfare 2 original maps.
Oh well. All right. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that game. Call of Duty, big game next year. Blizzard. Don't know when that survival game's gonna get announced or when it's slated for. And then I don't know what else they're working on over there at Blizzard.
I don't know if we get anything. I mean, we may get like some small game, like another Crash or Spyro or some shit like that. But
I'm curious what Activision's been working on behind the scenes besides COD, because I know they have some things, But,
yeah, but it's gonna be those smaller like kids games if we get anything.
Yeah, and they haven't been as open like in their financial calls as some other companies where we have this many projects in the works and stuff like that. They kind of have played it close to their chest. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. 2024 is going to be absolutely amazing. And maybe ZeniMax Bethesda will pull something out of their ass.
I know. Before we move on, I was talking about like the skill argument. It's kind of like, I guess you could like, if it would be more like, it's like a sports analogy kind of thing. Like if someone's like, if you have a better team that controls the map, they're just like, they have more flow of the field and stuff. It's not like you have better players, so you're obviously going to do better. Like, and you shouldn't punish that better team by spawning people behind you to fucking kill you. It'd be like giving a team that's down by a touchdown, like, let's just start them at the fucking 5-yard line.
Right. Yeah, I get it. You just want to annihilate your competition and kill them when they spawn from behind. I get it.
Sure.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Everybody, we got one more segment here on FSP, and it's called This is Tidbits, the where we look ahead at games coming out for the week, and there's a lot of games this week, everybody. So bear with us.
Grab your popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready, as Terrell Owens used to say. We're gonna watch some games. Now, not all of these are big games, just to keep that in perspective when you're about to watch this.
Probably the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Are you ready for me to hit play?
Duke Togo says we need to have our own PS of the Week segment. Yeah, like Dirt does. Yeah, that could be fun. I'd probably have the same POS of the week every week, because there's some fucking losers out there that I can't stand. Anyway, let's move on to this week. What do we got here?
SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake.
Yeah, this came out earlier in the year. I guess it's a new console or a new platform release. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So PS5 release
Next gen. PS5 and Series X and S.
Right on.
$39.99 today, or earlier today.
If you like playing with your little yellow sponges, get it. Is that a condom on his head? What the fuck is that? What's going on? Is either a hamburger helper glove or
a special shower cap?
Luis is saying no audio. Are we muted or is
no? It's the I muted the because I figured there's SpongeBob music.
Yeah.
Have I ever watched SpongeBob? Yeah, I've watched SpongeBob. He lives in a pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Something yellow and porous is he. Yeah.
Yellow, absorbent, and porous.
Yeah, yellow, absorbent, and porous is he. That was a condom? All right. It wasn't a condom. Okay.
Okay.
Well, so are you saying that SpongeBob is not practicing safe? Well, how old is let me rephrase that. Is he at least 18 or is he?
I mean,
I think he's probably like 20 something.
Yeah, he's got a job, right? He works at the.
I mean, he has a 5 o'clock shadow when he's caveman SpongeBob.
Yeah,
even just that. I mean, the show's over 20 years old, so
it's an adult. SpongeBob an adult. He's an adult, right? He's still wearing the condom on his head.
It's a glove.
Well, some people refer to condoms as gloves. So, the love glove.
Yeah, he has his own house. Yeah, he does have his own house, right? He completely owns the rights to that pineapple. I mean, there's really no telling how old SpongeBob is. But
I know that there was one episode where he had to go get his driver's license, so I don't know.
Yeah, people
Maybe.
get their driver's licenses when they're old. Is anybody excited for this game on PS5?
I actually wanted to play it when it came out because it's the sequel to the Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is like the best SpongeBob game.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it's. There's so much shit this year that I never picked it up.
Right. The Cosmic Shake. So what was it? Xbox exclusive for a while, or is it like just
it was on
PS4 to PS5?
Yeah, it was Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is 14. You looked it up. Okay. Wait, how does he own a house and have a job and driving?
He's a sponge.
The whole lore behind SpongeBob is messed up. I guess maybe age in the bottom of the sea works differently. What is this game?
Wizard with a Gun, which comes out on PC. Well, it came out on PC for Monday or today, and then for Tuesday comes to PS5 and Series X and S.
In the wild, a sponge can live for 200 years, Vic says. Right on. Yeah. I'll turn the audio on for this one.
Yeah, this is Devolver Digital's.
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
Released. Yeah.
How much was it again?
$24.99.
Looks like a fun $24 game. $25 game. Releasing at a horrible time. Wizard King.
This one is great for portables. Like if you got a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, definitely worthwhile. Actually, even this one. This one is mobile and PC, Mac, and Linux. It is $14.99 on PC, Mac, and Linux, and then on your iPhone or Android phone, it is $6.99.
Right on. Looks pretty solid for tactics games.
Yeah.
That Lamplighters League, if you're a tactics fan, that game is pretty good too, guys. It's in Game Pass.
I tried that. I didn't like how I wanted it more focused, like a Midnight Suns tactics, where you do a mission and it spawns you in there, and it's like kind of a smaller area. Where this, I felt like you were running around too much. I just
that's one thing with some of the tactics games. You are doing a lot of like unnecessarily traveling, right? This looks pretty good.
Cyber Knights Flashpoint.
Character models are a little interesting. It's rare to rise in this dark future. Some of those stealth tactics games, you have a lot of that running around and stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of a little bit of the Shadowrun vibes. Cyber Knights Flashpoint, early access on Steam. Mortal Kombat Onslaught.
Yeah. Mobile, iOS and Android. It looks like it's going to be a free-to-play.
Oh yeah, it's like the Star Wars game where you have your like squad and then you fight another squad. Okay.
Yeah. Get over here.
Was it like card based almost in a way, like
you get cards. Oh, it just ended. Okay, what a weird trailer. But yeah, you just pick your characters or whatever, and then you level them up. You put like new armor and shit on them, and they get higher level and stronger.
Skull Island.
Yep. Rise of Kong. $31.99 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, as well as Switch and PC.
Yeah, this is like where you play like a young Kong and like.
This is the one where you don't play this game because it looks like trash.
It's probably a good Switch game or good for Switch, but
If you want to play Kong, go back and find a copy of the 2005 game for 360.
Like games like this, do they ever sell enough for them to be worth making? I mean, I
it's
never
hard
ever
to say.
hear anybody talking about these kind of games, you know? But Sonic is back. Sonic Frontier is this Sonic Frontiers, right? Or Superstars? Sonic
Superstars, yeah.
I'm actually interested in this because of the co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Kate and I love Sonic.
I could never get into Sonic and stuff like this because I feel like you just do the same level like every year when they re-put it out.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually looking forward to this one because it's like a co-op for one thing, and it has some different looking levels too.
Yeah. Who knows? Some point this guy might be first party. Maybe. And that one was. It's actually $59.99 for that game.
What, Sonic?
Yeah. This is Mike Mignola's Hellboy Web of Weird, I guess, or Wired.
Web of Weird, I think. There was some people looking forward to this one. They loved the art style when this was announced.
Yeah.
That's a fun word. Here goes nothing.
No, the Sonic game, no, that's coming to multiple platforms.
Yeah. PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch and PC. This game here, actually the same thing. It's pretty much coming to everything but mobile. And it's priced at $24.99. Comes out Wednesday.
I'm getting like Soulsy vibes from this for some reason.
Definitely reminds me of like an OG Xbox game.
Out of the licensed games we've seen so far here, like this is looks the most interesting. Like at least it's different, you know. Looks like it could have some quality gameplay. Slender: The Arrival. Spooky season has a new Splendor game.
Well, this is the 10th anniversary. Is it just a remake?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like remake, remaster, coming to next gen consoles, PS5 and Series X and S. $19.99, comes out Wednesday.
I've never played the original. Is it actually creepy?
I mean, you look for notes, and then occasionally you'll turn around and there's this asshole standing behind you, and then if you look at him, he'll try to grab you. So
yeah. Yeah,
I think it was like you had to find like 7 notes or some shit around the forest and like stuff, and then you could get in the car and escape or something like that. I don't remember. It's been forever.
Yeah. I just remember making it out of the house and then finding a note on a tree, and then he was behind me or something. I was like,
Was he slender?
Oh yeah, it was like the tall, skinny dude in a suit kind of thing. And I like horror stuff, but it just wasn't scary to me. I don't know. I takes a lot to kind of scare me with games.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Endless Dungeon.
Yeah. $29.99, PS4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, no Xbox One version, Switch and PC.
Oh, this game's finally coming out. I remember this game looked good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it have to release now?
They didn't realize that there would be too many games for us to play and not enough time. So
Is this coming to Game Pass? I could have swore that this has been at a lot of Xbox like shows.
Well, this is an Xbox trailer, so I'm assuming it'll tell us at the end.
Right.
yeah.
This is Endless Dungeon. No, it's not coming to Game Pass, Takado. Yeah, it looked. I remember seeing the trailers. Just always looked good, like co-op dungeon crawler, like lootery type looking game. I don't know if it's a looter per se or whatever, but
I have a feeling if it's not day one with Game Pass, this will probably hit Game Pass in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, there's a game that is in Game Pass that just came out. I saw PT Gabe Blam say he was playing it, called like Space Frontiers or something. It's like an ARPG, like top-down looter like this.
it's it's not Space Frontiers, it's like Space something else. But it looks,
okay.
Yeah. What is it
From
called?
Space. that's
From
what I'm
Space,
saying.
yes. Yeah, they look pretty good too. Yeah, Endless Dungeon. How much is Endless Dungeon?
$29.99.
Okay, I might be looking at actually getting that. Froggy says From Space is good. Yeah, PTK. I saw him playing that again today. Actually, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made a tweet saying he's like, that's the only thing he's played the past 2 days or some shit.
Yeah, he's not much into racing games, and I think he's taking a little bit of a break from Starfield for now.
Yeah.
And try some other stuff.
Is this that Star Trek game you've been playing?
No.
It looks
This
just
is
like it.
Galactic Civilizations 4 Supernova. $39.99. Although the way they made it seem, I guess the non-Supernova version is free to play, and then the Supernova version, I guess, is like comes with additional content or something along those lines for the $39.99.
Is this an update? Because I thought Galactic Civilization 4 has been out for a while.
I think this is like an expansion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the base one I think is free to play now.
Yeah, Supernova.
This one, yeah, Supernova is the $40 expansion or something.
Looks pretty cool if you're into those kind of strategy games.
Yeah.
I just don't know how many games there are that they've actually find players for them. There's so many fucking games, dude. Like all these games releasing this week, it's nuts. How are people playing these games when these other bigger games are all out? Like I honestly don't understand how I guess there's just so many people out there into different stuff. It's crazy.
Other than the people that had this on their radar, this will be the type of game that gets picked up when they have like the holiday sales on Steam or like the Humble Bundles and things like that.
The people that are going to play that game, though, are the people that's like the only type of game they play, and they play that for like 17 years straight.
Yeah, Gangs of Sherwood, which it looks a lot like the other Robin Hood game that we played last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Hood.
Yeah, Hood, Outlaws and Legends.
Mm-hmm.
This is more...
$49.99.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say $49.99 on console, $39.99 on PC.
Right. This is more of just a co-op story experience, though. I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe like a Vermintide type thing or something. I don't know.
Right.
I know, like, it seems interesting. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I actually like that Hood Outlaws and Legends. There's nobody played it, so and it's an online only game, so you can just sat there forever looking for a match.
Yeah. A lot of those online only games gotta think long term. Make like an offline version for a story, even if it's just like more of like a tutorial, and have bots
not even
fill
just
in
that,
the
but
gaps
like,
and everything.
you gotta see the reception around your game and like know that it's not gonna last. Like, you gotta maybe put it in Game Pass or make it free to play or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Try instead of charge people $60 or something that
Yeah.
doesn't have that marketing.
Gangs of Sherwood. And that's releasing on everything, right?
Next gen consoles, PS5, Series X and S, and then PC.
Right.
No Switch and no last gen.
Gargoyles.
Remastered.
Age of Goggles.
$14.99 on Series X and S, PS4, no PS5 version, Switch and PC.
Gargoyles is such an awesome cartoon. I honestly like the old graphics better. They show the old graphics. I don't like this
Can you
redesign.
switch?
I
Is it
hope
like
so.
a Halo thing? Where you can hit a button and swap?
I hope so. Almost
No.
kind of like they made it worse. Like, look worse.
I don't think you can switch. I think that's you get this new smoothed over kind of
Oh, that
look.
sucks.
Keith David? Was
What?
that Keith David?
I don't know. Why didn't they keep the original style? Like, that looked way cooler. It says
If
you
you're
can
tired of
instantly
Forza,
switch.
get ready for Hot Wheels.
Okay, Froggy said it said you can instantly switch. So
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't pay attention.
Hot Wheels. This was a game we were surprised was announced because of the Hot Wheels collaboration with Forza.
Yeah. Unleashed 2 Turbocharge, $49.99, PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
I did like the last Hot Wheels game.
Oh, you
that-
could
that
finally
came
go
out.
outside?
Yeah.
Wow, what an advancement.
Dude, it's grounded.
There was a Hot Wheels game I played on the PC like when I was a kid. Like, it was the best fucking Hot Wheels game. You had tracks going outside and into the inside of the fucking house, like across pools and shit.
Luis Jose says Keith David is the voice for the main gargoyle protagonist, Jasper.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Nice.
Keith David's awesome. Yeah, the first Hot Wheels, fun as hell.
Yeah.
It's not easy either. Like, pretty hard, like, to win.
Yeah. You gotta control the slide.
Yeah. It's funny that they're already putting out a sequel. Like, what was it, 2 years ago or the last year that the last one came out?
It was 2 years ago. I think last year it came into Game Pass.
That's right.
Yeah.
Time's flying by, dude. Oh my god. I feel like I played this a month ago.
Well, you also thought you ate a chocolate bar that you had fucking 7 years ago.
That is true.
That is, yeah, that's true.
true.
Overpass 2.
Yeah.
This is a little ATV game, right? Yeah.
Yeah. $49.99 on console, $39.99 on PC, PS5, Series X and S, and PC.
You ever played
A
one
lot
of
of
these?
racing games.
I tried one, not this one, but one of the other ones a while ago, and the problem I have for something that's going to be off road, and I used to do some off roading with my Jeep. The fact that they don't do like Jeeps or anything like that, it doesn't hold my attention. Like ATVs are cool off road, but I'm more used to taking a Wrangler off road
Yeah.
and doing that.
2 different Nacon
mean, they got
games
buggies in
coming
there.
out.
Yeah.
The Gangs of Sherwood and Overpass 2. Nacon's actually got some games releasing.
Oh yeah.
The 7th Guest VR.
Yeah.
PSVR
Those games
2 game.
Been around for 20 years and they keep remaking it and putting it out on new shit.
Do you remember the?
They just released the Quest 3, so you know.
Do you remember the arcade like ATV like racing game Pure?
Yeah.
I remember the name.
I think so.
That one was so good, man. It was like it was published by Disney.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I did not
ATV
know
game.
that.
Yeah. It was in the early
that's
Xbox
probably-
One era, I think, maybe when it came out.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite ATV games.
It's so good, man. Like the jumps and stuff are like sick.
The jumps
MX
and the
ATV I
different-
always like better.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't played Pure, it still holds up to this day. I don't know if you can buy it, but
When's the last time you played it?
I actually played it like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago or so.
Okay, so he last played it on the 360.
No, I last played it on the Series X, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that, but it's called Pure. I don't know if it's purchasable or whatever. It was published by Disney back in the day.
Hey, seventh guest.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we
They
didn't
gotta
bother.
make something for the PSVR too.
We didn't bother even saying
I
anything
played that
about
on
that
PC
game.
back in the 80s.
Oh, it's $29.99 by the way.
game came out fucking ages ago.
What is
I
this?
used to play this on my
The
uncle's
Gap.
Mac G2.
This is
19.99, available on PS5, Series X and S, and PC.
I don't like games that try and have realistic looking graphics in an environment, and then they go and they show the people, and the people look weird and fake as shit.
This is like one of those memory games where I guess you're trying to go through the family story or
Yeah.
something.
Christmas 20.
See, look, they're trying to have like realistic looking style of environment. Then you see the people, and it's like, oh, they look weird, right?
It's because it's like in your mind, bro, and it's like crazy, you know.
I mean, that's a draw. It's not a picture of a person. It's a painting. It takes me out of the experience.
It's a filter.
What it is an excuse because they don't know how to make real looking people. They can make a chair, they can make a wall, they can make a shelf. When it comes to a person, they gotta.
Those are assets they
Also,
can buy.
the date on the photo said 2040. Who the fuck is still printing out photos in the year 2040? We don't even do that now.
Thigh gap. I mean, the gap.
Side Gap. If it was Side Gap, I think it would be a better game.
Oh god.
The gap. Go shopping at the gap.
Oh, here's a PlayStation
Did
banger.
this say Jack in the Box? What was this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Jackbox Party Pack 10. So they're up to 10. now.
Jackbox Party Pack 10.
What even is that?
Don't they just put the same fucking games in it over and over again?
Well, this time I think they added whatever this most recent one. Look, it's not quite Guitar Hero kind of, but
Look at this amazing gameplay trailer.
Hey, he's holding his phone. It's pretty cool.
you buy a game for your console to play on your phone.
Alvin with the $2 says tidbits, gigabits. Yeah, this is a lot of games.
And we still got a couple more to go.
We've
Doo
done
doo re me. The game is doo doo re me.
Dodo Rami.
Oh,
We've done
I
some
thought it was doo-doo.
we've done some Jackbox nights in the past on this channel. We should do it again sometime.
Yeah.
So things tend to go a little too sideways when we do this.
Yeah, when you have to do the ones where you spell or draw something.
Yeah,
it's
can't
just,
do it. There's just too many dicks that get drawn, and
oh my god.
Oh,
Caitlin
this
would be
game is
drawing
the world of.
clitorises all over the place.
yeah,
Oh, God.
there was one stream I had when I was testing stuff, and y'all were helping me test stuff, and we were private behind the scenes, and I don't even know if y'all knew we weren't live, but y'all just started drawing like the craziest shit on the screen. It was crazy. Y'all were using the zoom feature or whatever, and
Yeah. There was penises and clitorises.
Oh, the last game, it was World of Horror for $14.99, PS4 and 5, Switch and PC. This is probably the biggest game,
Yeah.
other than the one right after it.
I
right
was
now.
watching that whole trailer, and it was like it still didn't exist to me.
Yeah.
It was like it was just biding time.
Literally, all I know is a black and white game. I couldn't tell you what the fuck was shown in it.
I have no idea. I didn't see anything, even though I was watching it. I couldn't tell you a damn thing from that. This game is Spider-Man 2. This is releasing on PS5, Xbox One, and Switch.
No.
No? Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Just
PS5 exclusive. $70, no question.
PS5 original, PS5 Slim, and get the remaster next year for the PS5 Pro.
PS5 kickstand edition.
Yeah, get your exclusive Spider-Man plates now so you can't use them on the new PlayStation.
I'm so glad I didn't buy them now. Well, not that I'm going to get that new PS5, but yeah, that kind of sucks. It's like you would think they would make this one
No, this game I'm excited
as a
for.
have a
Yeah.
PS5 edition or have a Spider-Man edition or something.
Yeah, why didn't they just
Super
fucking
Mario
make a
Wonder.
slim edition of it or some shit? Like,
Yeah.
I think they should have redesigned the whole thing to where it can actually fucking stand up or lay down without something.
well, you can stand it up. It won't be stable. So don't jump around your house.
Somebody in the chat was like, "You can lay it horizontal; it'll just be slanted." Well, like, what? Okay, yeah, cool.
No, I mean, you could stand
let
you
it
could
wobble.
probably stand it up vertically. It's just gonna wobble. Like it's not gonna have its supports.
That thing looks too delicate to let it wobble. Like
I don't think it.
Until you turn on
I
your
don't think
fan and it flies across the room.
Yeah, I don't think you can stand it up vertically.
Gotta buy that stand for, what is it, $50? Or is it
30.
$20?
How
It was
much
30
is
bucks.
How much is this is releasing on Switch and PC emulators
70
everywhere
bucks.
around the world? How much is this?
70 bucks.
$59.99. It's already on PC emulators. Like I saw somebody already say, yeah. It's so great to
Is this no? Yeah.
have a
it's
Switch and there was a
60
picture of a ROG ally.
Did you say
No, I
70?
thought-
You didn't say
I thought this
79.99.
was
right?
70.
No,
I thought
59.
this-
Okay, I was- I was like,
Is
what?
it 59?
Yeah, $59.99.
Now the Switch 2 version will probably be $79.99, but yeah.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
don't even put that
I
out
worked
there.
the midnight release of Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder.
Do you? Nice. That'll be a big. You're gonna have a line out the door, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy day. I work all day.
Could you imagine?
Open to midnight.
Could you imagine if Starfield released that same day too? Like, could have been nuts.
You got one person show up because no one on Xbox
like-
buys physical.
Yeah, they don't buy physical anyway. Played in Game Pass.
Yeah, we buy digital. Yeah.
Hey Jasper, are you still there?
No.
We had I had more Xbox game pre-orders for Assassin's Creed than PlayStation. I had one PlayStation pre-order.
That's because they don't buy games. It's not first party.
Yeah.
No one was Activity. We
It wasn't a
messed up.
90. It wasn't a banger.
That's fun. That's interesting though, Psycho. All right. Well, that is it for the games releasing for the week. That was tidbits, everybody. That was a lot of shit mixed with a couple of good games. There was some good stuff in there. Endless Dungeon, I'm looking forward to.
Mhm.
There was the witch
The Hellboy game.
that looked good. The wizard game. I mean, the witch.
It's so good you don't even know what it's called.
Wizard shotgun or some shit like that.
Wizard with a gun.
Wizard with a gun.
Wizard with-
Yeah. That looked pretty good. Yeah. There was Super Mario and Spider-Man. Those are going to be great. Yeah. There was so many forgettable games though that we just watched. There
Yeah,
was
standouts for
Mortal
me is
Kombat Molo or mobile.
the mobile one.
Mobo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mortal Kombat Mobo. You excited for Mobo?
No, the Wizard with a Gun, Spider-Man
stroke.
2, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder are the standouts for me.
There was Thigh Gap.
Gangs of Sherwood.
Gangs of Sherwood looks
Yeah.
interesting. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 looks interesting.
Yeah.
Gargoyles Remastered
Yeah.
looks cool when it was in the 8-bit mode, but the other mode looked like ass, or 16-bit, whatever it was. Galactic
Endless
Civilization.
Dungeon.
Yeah. Slender
Yeah.
Remaster. There's some pointless remasters this week.
Like Spider-Man.
No, it wasn't. There's
Oh,
the
you're right. That's next year.
There's Mike Mignola's Hellboy Web of Weird.
Yeah.
What? I think Mike Mignola's got a ego issue. put himself in front of the name Hellboy. Like, how about just Hellboy?
I think he's just butthurt because he lost all his attention.
We're gonna see Pete Hines. The next studio is gonna be Pete Hines's whatever game.
Butter too.
Yeah, Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Interesting. So some good stuff, everybody. But yeah, let's get everybody out of here. That was Tidbits. Good week overall, though. I gotta say, with those two big releases, it's a monster week. Psycho, thanks for being here as always, bro. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Thank you, Jeff, for coming out tonight. It was a great day in gaming news. It's always a pleasure to podcast with you guys. It's fantastic. But you guys can find me everywhere on social media. It's Psychonauts 8. Every Monday, of course, FSP at 10. Tomorrow is Fun Pop at 10, where we going to discuss our, I guess, what we watched.
Yeah, The Nun. We watched The Nun this past week. So we'll talk about that. We'll pick out another movie for this week on tomorrow night.
The Nun 2. No. and then Friday, of course, is Xbox Ultimate at 10 o'clock. Great way to end your work week is with Xbox Ultimate.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Psycho. Appreciate you, bro. Jasper. Tell everybody where they find you, sir.
Yo, check it out. Lord Jasper, Twitter, Lord Master Jasper, YouTube, all that fun stuff. And then it's Monday and Tuesday and Friday, 10 o'clock, right here on the Fun Speculation Network with FSP, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate. I think I said that. I don't know. But yeah, watch The Nun if you want to talk about that. We have that tomorrow on Fun Pop. So that's your homework if you want to join that conversation.
Yes, Fun Pop tomorrow. The Nun. Watch it. We're gonna discuss it, and then think of chat about other horror movies we need to watch, because we'll pick another one out tomorrow as well, and then watch it next week or this coming week. Fuzzy Belvedere, I see you talking about Spooter Smurfs and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, they got me cracking up. They're talking about the Smurfs again.
Is that because I said I didn't know why other games have a reason to exist sometimes? Like the Smurfs.
I don't know. They just started going off with like Smurf this or Smurf that, and then it's just
that's gonna be a thing that always happens on FSP. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. No, but it was awesome being on here with you guys. Always awesome with the chat that came out to watch us, and those that would catch us on replay. Thanks for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you guys here on Friday as well for Xbox Ultimate, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be here. I was going to say be there or be square, but just look forward to seeing you guys be there. But, man, other than that, if you want to hear my rambles or rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app, formerly known as Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. Thanks again.
Right on, man. By the way, I didn't see any body touting Smurf cart sales numbers. Just saying. Like they ever would have.
Smurferific.
Anyway, yeah, everybody tune in this week. Got lots of shows coming your way. Tomorrow, Fun Pop. Thursday, PM in the PM. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Friday, Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Audio listeners, thank you as well. Chat, you've been amazing. You rock. Have a great night. Peace out.
me.
Later, Pete.